In 1899, Nikola Tesla reported something strange. He was experimenting with radio waves in Colorado Springs when he claimed to have received a repeating signal, one he believed might have been coming from beyond Earth. Decades later, in the early days of the space race, U.S. military radar picked up an unidentified object orbiting the planet. It wasn't Russian, it wasn't American, and it shouldn't have been there. Then, in 1998, NASA astronauts aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour captured photos of something dark and oddly shaped floating in low Earth orbit. NASA says it was just a lost thermal blanket, but for believers in the Black Knight satellite theory, it was proof. Proof that something ancient has been orbiting Earth for thousands of years. NASA calls it space junk. Conspiracy theorists call it a 13,000-year-old alien probe. In 1899, Tesla was conducting experiments in Colorado Springs using a massive tower he built to test wireless energy. One night, while monitoring cosmic radio, he picked up on a series of repeating signals, regular and rhythmic pulses, unlike anything he'd heard before. Tesla believed he had received a message, not from Earth, not from man, but from something or someone out there. He wrote, "Although I could not decipher the meaning, it was impossible for me to think of them as having been entirely accidental." Most scientists say he likely picked up on natural signals, possibly pulsars that hadn't been discovered yet. At this time, radio astrology didn't exist, and Tesla's claim sparked a fire. By the 20s and 30s, amateur radio operators began picking up strange signals, bursts of sound, and repeating patterns that didn't match any known transmissions. Some were later explained, and others weren't. Then in the 50s, things got weird. During the height of the Cold War, the US and Russia were watching Earth's orbit very closely. Satellites were rare, and every object in orbit was tracked with precision. In 1960, the US Navy reported something it couldn't explain, an unknown satellite in polar orbit. At the time, neither the US nor the Russians had satellites in that trajectory. News outlets jumped on the story and speculation exploded. Some say it was a Soviet spy satellite, others weren't so sure. And that's when the name started, the Black Knight satellite, an object with no clear origin, no clear mission, and no one taking credit for it. In the late 60s, radio operators began reporting strange signals, slow, rhythmic pulses that didn't match any satellite. They thought something was transmitting in a pattern, one that mapped out Earth's location in relation to other star systems. Enter Duncan Lunan, a Scottish researcher who took these signals and ran them through a bizarre process. According to him, the message came from a planet orbiting Epsilon Bootis, and it was a greeting sent 13,000 years ago. Critics claimed his math was off, or he was just guessing. Still, the timing was odd. The Black Knight was supposedly orbiting Earth, and now it's sending signals. In 1998, the STS-88 space shuttle mission, NASA released a photo of what looked like a large, dark object floating above Earth. It had sharp edges, weird angles, and no clear explanation. NASA later claimed it was a thermal blanket that just drifted off during a spacewalk. For believers, it was more confirmation. The Black Knight was real, visible, and caught on camera. NASA never addressed the connection to the earlier signals. The 13,000-year myth, probably because they didn't want to dignify it, or they were told not to. Who knows? So where does this leave us? We've got unexplained signals, mysterious photos, a blanket that looks like alien origami, and a satellite that predates every known civilization. Skeptics say it's all coincidence, misinterpreted data, a mix of space junk and overactive imaginations. Believers say it's proof we're not alone and haven't been for a long time. And NASA? They're not saying anything, which of course makes people even more skeptical. In the end, myth, proof of alien existence, the Black Knight satellite is still around and it isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and as always, comment if you have anything to add.